No, Cider, I don't want to get shot by
Come on, man. One time we'll lube you up with Vaseline. You'll be fine.
No.
Oh, hell. Then you do it to me. I'll be fine. I can tank it. Right weather conditions.
I am not shooting you.
Man, this is bullshit. If anything, it'd make us equal, because I've already shot you once.
Sexy motherfucker.
I don't know, get like a cadet to do it or something.
All right.
Oh, fuck, you're the lowest on duty.
Come on. I'll meet you.
Stomach.
I'll meet you in the fucking shooting range. Get over here. Well, chat, I don't want to be full armor because the criminals won't be full armor, right? So being full armor, we're not going to get the right.
Option Zero is going to take a little swing over that way.
Just be careful, we are severely outnumbered with anyone.
Oh yeah, be advised too, there's a hunting party. I don't know who it is. Do we know who's the gang that wears red?
Diablos.
Is it the Diablos? Hispanic gang?
One's down melanoma.
Maybe. No, man. We'll do both. Whew. Come on now, baby. Come on, bring it to me. I'll tank it.
Where? Why am I shooting you?
Titties, extra padding. Let me make sure I'm ready. Give me a second. All right, come on. No, not the whole thing. We'll go one by one. Bring it. Again. 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 Give me two. Okay, that's enough. All right, how many was that?
I didn't even look.
I think that was 7.
Yeah, maybe 6 or 7. Yeah. How's your health?
It was 9.
What are you made out of?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling like one more and I would have cashed in. So that's 8 shots for someone who's half armor. Son of a bitch, man. We're shooting marshmallows. Woo-wee.
Yeah, but our rate of fire is fast.
It's fast as hell, yeah. We just gotta, yeah, all right. Good to know.
Hit your target. Hit your target.
Woo-wee, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't never, whew.
Is that with a PD gun?
That's with a PD pistol, yeah.
Or with a regular one?
We don't know.
First time I've ever shot my pistol.
Wait, what happened?
That's the first time I've ever shot my pistol.
Hell
My
yeah.
virginity.
Well,
I have a question for you, fine gentlemen.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the difference between your average, everyday, I can buy pistol and an FNX, is there a caliber difference?
Yeah,
Or is
one's
it
a
just
9mm. The FNX is a 45.
So it definitely hits harder, and that's why it's a class 2. Okay, good. I like
Well,
that.
so the explanation I give people for the class 2 is that FNX is shooting a 45 caliber round, and regular's 9mm. Another thing is with the 9mm, from what I understand with the regular pistols, it's a semi-automatic action, so you have to pull the trigger each time. With the FNX, it's an automatic action because you pull the trigger once and it cycles into the chamber.
Okay. So caliber
like
and rate of fire.
Got it.
So on our PD Glocks, it's a automatic chamber also. So it, in theory, our class 1 firearms are actually class 2.
Okay, so
Because
let me ask you
go ahead.
this. If an individual steals your cop weapons,
Mm-hmm.
what do they get charged with?
Right now it's just government property, I believe, right?
Well, and
What
they
if they
get criminal
steal-
possession.
Yeah, criminal
Yeah.
possession.
So
If they have their
I
gun.
think we need too new. Like if they steal your regular firearm, that should be, and then if they steal your big boy one, the one that your like lieutenants get to carry, I don't know. I think there should be even a higher charge for that. In my mind, what do you guys think?
So, I mean, okay, so here's the issue with that.
I think the penal code needs to be changed.
Yeah,
100%. That's
adding.
why we're asking.
Yeah, so look,
Yeah.
let me show you guys. Come in here real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, with the typical firearm, when you're shooting, there's gonna be shots fired in MRPD. Disregard. So, you would have to pull the trigger again. But with our firearms, if you pull the trigger and hold.
Oh shit.
So, with that being said, this would have the same charges as an FNX, right? And what they're going to say in court is if we do try and switch, like, you know, put the AR on a different platform, then we would have to do that for criminals too, because right now, if they have an AK-47, which is chambered in 7.6239, which is one of the largest assault rounds there is when it comes to assault rifle, that carries the same charge as an FNX, which is shooting a 45. So they would have to have those charges disconnected, and for us to have ours, because, you know, same shit.
They should actually. I think you should have a legal possession of a class 1, a 2, and a 3. Sounds like that's only what you have to worry about. And then for a PD 1,
they do
a PD
have class 1.
We'll just call yours a class 1 for the first one, which is a class 2, but it's the PD.
Well, what you can do is you can
Yeah.
have class 2 in two separate forms, right? You can have a class 2 firearm, and let's just say this, class 2 pistol and a class 2 rifle. Because the rifle is a higher caliber and a higher, you know, shot or range, so you could split those charges. Exactly, you could.
And I would.
You could split those charges because an Uzi under regulation is SBR. So, like out of the city, if I had an Uzi, the only way that I would be able to legally possess that, it would have to be classified as an other or as a pistol. And then if you put the brace on it, that would be called a pistol brace. So, in theory, you would have to, in law, put a automatic class 2 pistol and or a rifle automatic.
Talked to two individuals who fled the scene. Neither one said that they were shooting, but
I'll
that
put
they
in
didn't see anything either.
articulation of the
Just got out of there.
which specific guns fall under those categories, so it's easy
you
to
wanna
look up.
detain
Yeah, class 2P, class 2 AR, easy.
That's a negative.
Yeah. What about weapon modifications? Are there any of those floating around that?
Not that we've seen.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Nothing so far.
Don't have to worry about that yet.
Yeah, no.
Hi,
But
this is
yeah, go
Starlight
ahead.
Knight. May I help you?
Yeah. So where I'm from, it'd be class 1. Class 2 would be machine guns, and then like fully automatics, and then class 3 would be two-handed fully machine guns and stuff. So
Where the hell you from?
I'm from Canada, man.
Oh, so it's a little different up there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, in the States, it's class 1 is pistols, class 2 would be, you know, rifles, class 3 is, you know, fucking fully automatic.
Rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Questions
See,
later.
but in the U.S., you're not allowed to possess a firearm that's fully automatic unless you have a business license where you're testing bullets, testing guns, stuff like that. Class 3 is mainly for non-civilian, all military personnel use only. So like there's specific firearms, like for example the RSAS, that you cannot possess legally as a civilian, but if you had a business license that you were testing the caliber that firearm uses and or the same type of firearm that is, you could possess that firearm to be able to kind of like re-engineer it and so on and so forth. So if I were us, I would definitely separate the pistol class 2 and the rifle class 2, just because, I mean, the AK-47, to give you an idea, we have only ever heard them. We have never possessed one. And we've only gotten like 2 MAC-10s and 1 Uzi. So they're super rare. And I think that they should be classified under something different, which is a higher penalty. I also have another question for you since we're going over this. I want you to look right now. I want you to open up and I want you to go to the charges for A+ boost, okay? So right now, if we look at an A+ boost, they are getting GTA, So they are getting Grand Theft Auto, which is only 14 months and a $1,500 fine. Now I want you to go to speeding and the second degree. It's a $3,000 fine. So my thing is I don't want prisoners or people who break the crime or break the law. I don't want them to have to go to prison and sit in jail for 300, 400 months.
All right. Well,
but
if you need anything, let me know.
To be able to steal a $750, $1 million, $500,000 car, and your consequence is $1,200 is fucking mind-boggling to me. I feel like
I get what you're saying. You could.
I just want to bring it to you, so maybe you guys can bring it up, because like you look at like grand robbery, it's $7,000. I mean that's a good amount of money, and that makes sense. But to steal a $500,000 car, right? Flee from police, ram vehicles, steal more cars to get involved with it. It's never clean. It's never easy, and it's $1,500 as your consequence. Is
one thing you can add to that? Every car that they steal, you can at least get them with joyriding for. But if they do it at a weapon, we don't have carjacking, by the way. I'm going to add carjacking.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we do.
Really try to. We have carjack?
Yeah, it's called Grand Theft Auto.
No. Carjacking is not Grand Theft Auto. So you've got, joyriding is when you steal a car and it can't be proven that you mean to permanently deprive the owner of that car. So just basic joyriding. Right. GTA is when you can prove or articulate a good cause that they're not going to give that car back. It's being scratched, boosted, ocean dumped, right? That owner's not getting it back, and you have evidence to prove and support that. So that's your GTA. Carjacking is either one of those two or a government where you use force or threat of bodily violence. So you yank a local out of their car, you shoot them or any person, and you do them harm or to get that car. That's carjacking, and that trumps the other two on how much time. So you wouldn't give them both. You would upscale it. So you take out either the either the joyriding or the GTA and upscale it to carjacking, which should be much more punishing because it's the previous two plus violence. And that's what carjacking is, and that's why we need to add it.
Well, I think all I want to recommend is that for GTA, for Grand Theft Auto, I think that we need, I don't care about time. It could be 5 months. I don't give a damn. The way that we hurt the criminals when it comes to anything in the city is their pockets. And I'm down with keeping the same amount of time for every charge that fucking exists. And I think they're all perfect. Like, my perfect example is gang-related shooting. That is the most textbook perfect fucking crime because it's a slap on the fucking ass, 75 months, $10,000 fine. And criminals, like, they when they get hit with that, they're like, fuck, man, like, that sucks. Grand Theft Auto should be the same thing because they are hitting something. Now, I don't think it should be 75 months, but it should be $5,000-$6,000 fine because they're stealing a $500, $600, $1 million car if it's an S-Class.
Yeah. If you can, so that main one is a GTA. And like, I know there's a lot of swaps. Are those their vehicles? If you can prove that they're not their vehicles, every time that they steal another vehicle, you can at least add the joyriding. I know that's not much, but you guys are talking about 5 or 6 car swaps, and they're probably not their vehicles.
Yeah, it's hard, man, because
I know
it's one of those things. Well, you got to prove it, but at the same time, I would rather hit someone. So, like, for example, if I tell a criminal you're getting hit with 5 assault with a deadlies, okay, the lawyer and the sales are going to sit there and go, you're charge stacking. Let's bring 3 of those down, hit them with 2 for a guilty plea, hit them with 1. I understand from our side, it's like, that's what you did, you know, whatever. I would rather it have 1 charge clumped up with a fine that
getting me through the day.
Well, there is.
With a, well, okay, what's that?
A secondary attempted murder.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in relative to Grand Theft Auto. All I want to say, all I'm asking for is instead of 1,500, we bring that up to 5 or 6 or 7,000 to a better result for the crime at hand. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. Like, I give people tickets all day. I arrest people for everything. Every other thing in the city right now, breaking and entering, all of it, time and fine wise, it's completely beautiful, and I have no issue with any of them. The only thing right now in the city that you can do and it result in basically not even a slap on the wrist, just a little spank on the butt like you just hit a home run is Grand Theft Auto. And I've talked to criminals and I've arrested criminals, and I can't tell you how many times I've arrested them and I've heard, that's it? Okay, cool, guilty. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, and that means it's not effective.
It's nothing.
Well, what about other charges that we can add in? That's not stacking. I am not for stacking.
I 100%. I get you.
Reckless driving. Well, reckless evading should always be a given in my mind. Any kind of weapon that they're stupid enough to have on them that they're not supposed to have is a given.
Of course.
Any kind of drugs. Any kind of, well, you're not going to, the only illegal, here's one of the other charges that I'm looking to add is, what is it? Items used in the commission of a crime. So illegal items. So your sequencers, your if you've got lockpicks on you in a boost, they're legal. They're an item that was used in the commission of that crime. And I think there should be a small charge for this.
Agreed.
Misdemeanor, maybe $500, 10 months, and not for each one, just a flat charge so that we can articulate that it was used, and then we can also be safe in taking it away from them because I want to confiscate them.
I also think
honestly,
yellow
that's gonna hurt them
sequencers.
more.
I think yellow sequencers should be the exact same thing. I think it should be because my thing is that, like, we'll say ammo. Okay, if someone has a firearm and they have rifle rounds, right? It's not illegal to own rifle rounds. It's not illegal to own submachine gun rounds unless those were used in the.
It should be, by the way. But
so it's
between me and you.
So for me, and that's where it brings me to this point. There's currently, for civilians in the city, there's no legal reason for them to possess either of those rounds. There's no legal firearm in that caliber. There's no legal firearm in the other caliber. It's the same thing, in my opinion, with yellow sequencers. There is no legal reason for you to currently possess yellow sequencers. So in my personal opinion, people shouldn't be able to get arrested and keep those devices because it's not legal there's no legal use for any of them, right? Now you could argue like, oh, you're impeding on their freedoms, being able to carry this, that, and the other. But at the same time, if there is no reason for you to own that other than being used in an illegal action, there's no reason as an officer I shouldn't be taking that off your person before it is used in an illegal action. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I'm a little bit more moderate in what I would advocate for, just because I don't want to upset everybody. I would think that we add the penal charge of that. If you're caught using it in the commission of a crime, or it's believed.
No, that's what we're trying to stay away from is charge stacking.
If you're boosting,
that's I'm completely against that.
Job. Whatever it is, like I don't know if you guys have glass cutters or whatever for whatever it is, you get that minor charge and you get them yoinked.
I'm down with that, 100%.
I think that's a good compromise that people won't get too upsetty with. So what I have is a person found to have on their person or direct area of control, which is basically constructive possession, by the way, which is important to know, that could have been used in the commission of a crime they have committed. It's not that they did. We don't have to prove it. We don't have to prove that they used that laser cutter to open it. All we have to do is they had the device, the tool on them, and they were accused of doing this crime. And these items to include, but are not strictly limited to, and then I put lockpicks, sequencers, malicious electronics devices, and laptops. There's probably more to add. I don't know what criminals
couldn't we bring it up to the court system that we have only ever seen these yellow sequencers used in illegal crimes, and to mark that as contraband, just like notes and bans?
We could try.
I think they still need to be in the commission of a crime that they could use it, or have gotten those.
I'll explain here in a second, Kat.
That's me personally, but you guys could try it, and I would not stand in the way of that.
Yeah, because for me, it's like if we can show, just like selling joints, right, in LSIA and whatever. Yeah. We can show consistent crimes that are only being committed with this device, right, with this yellow sequencer. That's the only thing. We there's no job in a city that uses it legally, and the only time we ever see it is when it's being used illegally. So if we can show that, hey, and we also know this, in case you guys didn't know, in warehouses, if you get past the front door I have a CI that told me that you have to use the yellow sequencer to bypass the security system to get through the second door also.
Of a warehouse? What kind of warehouse? Like
Weed warehouse. A weed warehouse.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It's where these gang members, they're having a lot of fights at. We've been outside of one and went in one 4 days ago where we got past the first door. We opened it up, we kicked it down, and there was a gate there that had a keypad. And one of my CIs told me the only way to get past that is with a yellow sequencer. So that is one action. We know it's used to get in the back of grocery stores and or gas stations to rob the safe in the back, and that's the only time we're seeing them is when it's being used illegally. So if we could bring that to the justice system and be like, hey guys, there's only this, and we have a strain of events of it continuously happening, let's mark it as contraband. And criminals, I mean, just fucking put it away. If you're so confident you're just gonna roll around with it on you, you should have, you should have that shit stripped from you.
Touch me.
Exactly, and that's the problem. And we've already created that culture of people not afraid. So for me, I'm not here to ruin people's day. I'm not here to be a hard ass. All I want is if someone commits a crime and they're dumb enough to do it in a stupid way, they get the consequences of that crime that they committed.
So taking that, let's talk about these stupid fucking yellow pages ads for illegal goods and services. I've got some evidence of them blatantly selling scratched vehicles. I've got, Nerf guns. When things are settled, because I know the PD is going through a little bit of a reorg. Maybe I'd like to work.
See, look
with
at that one right there. Ray
Yeah.
Zor Sharp selling a blue Game Boy. We all know what that is.
Yeah, we all do. Now, we all know that we can't trap them when we're going to ask for them. We're looking to buy a blue Game Boy. Absolutely. They hand us something else that's illegal.
518+1, we're going to be on
the thing on the
roof
blue, that's a blue sequencer, right?
Motel.
Before we go after those, we're going to have to do a little bit of evidence investigation so that so I can write to the judge, this is what it's used for illicitly.
Yeah, eventually I
there
kind of
are no other, and this is
Agreed, Arthur.
evidence that I'm also giving them that supports that. So that's just going to help us when we go to do some of these things.
Then actually, I'm not gonna.
I want to do
stay
that.
away from the area.
These people who are selling things illegally, as long as
You're
we're
on
not
Wild Oats,
trapping them,
Plywood Hills is code
and
for.
we know the item is to be used illegally. So the problem with the blue Game Boy is not illegal to possess, right?
Exactly.
Right now. So we can't do any things on that yet until we can get the courts to say, oh yeah, it's illegal to have this because it's only used for malicious, illegal purposes. So then we can go for stings of that. Right now, we can go for stings of all these scratch cars and all of these illegal weapons, these Nerf guns. We don't need to do that because that's obviously illegal. We just need to be careful the officers don't entrap, and that's just easy. And I think just refresh with the officers what exigent circumstances is. It's not as easy as people think it is, and you can get in a lot of trouble if you do it wrong. So
Agreed.
I just want them to have full confidence that they know when they can go into. Do they have gang warehouses?
Yes, they have both. They have weed and gang. That's what we know of so far because we've raided both.
Yeah, so if you've got somebody who's running into their personal warehouse
Are at war with
to get away from police, you got hot pursuit.
Here, 1 second. 10-9 last.
You know if the bowl cut bandits are at war with anyone?
Negative. We have no knowledge of them being at war with anyone, but they do hold down the territory right next to Burger Shot. Why? What's going on?
We've gotten a couple of reports of 911 calls for them holding out AKs, and we're up on a roof and we're seeing a lot of vehicles driving around the area.
I'll call some of my CI, see if I can get some information on that.
All right, just for now, units, unless you have to, try to stay out of the Burger Shot area.
10-4. Sorry, we
It's okay.
Yeah, so I'm you'll go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so like exigent circumstances, not only is it just pursuit, there's also so one of the cases that I had once, which is a more complicated exigent circumstances. So an individual is robbing bank, is seen with a big duffel bag full of stuff on their back, because that's how they carried the goods. They were really heavy. So they're seen going into a private dwelling with it on their back, and then exiting. Now, typically,
already been banned. Thank you,
if
Gav.
a person leaves, you got hot pursuit. But once they leave the house again, you've lost that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But they came out without the backpack, so it can be very well articulated and very reasonable that the person went in there, that was evidence of the crime, and left it in there, and that evidence then is what you went in there for, and it could be destroyed in the like. You have to be careful about using that one. But that is you can go in there and get it because they left it in there and it's there. Or if they just ran inside, and then your normal, gee, somebody's calling for help, or there's a fire or some bullshit like that. But so that they know, because you don't want to fuck that up. You're gonna.
That's what we've been telling. Luckily, the thing that's good about our command right now is we've set the precedent of, if you don't know, just don't do it. And a lot of officers respect that, and they understand that, like, you know, if it's on the border, just don't do it. Wait for command to come around. And I think when it comes to this stuff too, so I'm currently trying with Lane, we're going to be doing GIU, right, which is gang investigations.
That's good. That's good.
So we're trying to get that off the ground. Right now it's a little slower because a lot of things coming into the city, a lot of businesses and stuff. So we're on the back end, and it's not something that we need as a necessity. But we're already doing stuff in the background. We have a lot of information on gangs. I've been going to like gang turfs and basically bullshitting gangs and trying to get them, because a lot of the problem right now is just officers aren't doing their job when it comes to thoroughly doing your job. Like, for example, we have people with gang related shooting charges, but they aren't flagged in the MDT as being gang related. So if you aren't flagging someone as being in a gang and you're hitting them with gang related, it's not going to fuck us over in any way, but it's just not exactly. It's fucking you over. It long term.
When I go to court, and I say, well, they're a member of this gang, and then they say, well,
they're not flagged.
Evidence?
They're not flagged.
I have no evidence. I need to
know. There you go.
Here's what I need in court.
The other day when I said, make sure you put the other side and blah, 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 so we didn't get fucked over in court.
Yep.
Yeah. So what I need for something like that, and I need it also for known accomplices of certain people, not necessarily a gang, but we used to have this one individual called Timothy Gang. He would work with this, and this person, but he wasn't part of the gang. But I had the ability to pull up every single one of his arrests and then see who was arrested with him. And so I can connect that dot, and any more than 3 is a trend,
Yeah, I hear that, Zeno. We'll talk about it here in a second. I got you, baby. I hear what you're saying 100%.
If I'm showing a trend of criminal behavior, that gets me around Federal Rules of Evidence 404. So that is how you tie a lot of circumstantial evidence into a narrative that will pass the judge. The judge will accept.
Got it. Yeah, so I'm trying to, especially with the gang stuff, I'm really, really, really trying to get officers. I'm gonna bring it up at the meeting today. Like, that is what we need. Also in the MDT, if you search up right now, if you go to go look up Ace Rose, for example, right? That's who I just got flagged as a gang. He admitted to me he was part of the Saints. Okay. Now, when you go to the gang, if you go to his information, if you look up Ace Rose, all we have is gang affiliation. What we need.
Wait. What's his ID? Because I don't see him.
ACEROSE. He's under Ace Rose. State ID is 3976.
There we go. I don't know why that wasn't coming up.
So right now, all we have is a tab that says gang affiliation. Yes, we need to have gang affiliation, and in that, right next to where it says yes, either a tag to where we could type in what gang he's affiliated with, because that information is crucial, because just knowing he's part of a gang is like 5% of the fucking pie.
Or right beside the yes, have a file number.
Either one, right? Even if I would like both. File number, and on top of a file number, a fucking little tag that says, this gang, that gang, whatever. Just so, again, for you guys, when you're prosecuting someone, you can have that information right at fucking hand. Because if I gave you Ace Rose right now and didn't tell you what gang he was with, y'all would have no idea who the fuck he was.
And make sure that's not available to the PDO. I don't want them seeing your master investigations or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't want them to know. I don't want them to know shit that they don't need to know in advance.
Unless it has a lawyer tag, they can't see it.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I think we're on the same page here with everything. Like I said, the only charge right now that we need to bump, in my opinion, is the Grand Theft Auto, just so when these A+ boosts go off.
A 0 behind it.
Agreed.
On both, even the months and the fine, I think it'll scare the shit out of people.
Here's the penal codes that I'm
so 140
probably gonna,
months and 15K.
I'm gonna probably ask to be added.
I think.
So
okay, sorry. I just want to say.
No, you go.
I don't think so. The problem with hitting him with 140 months is that I feel like that's too far. Just because, like I said, when
maybe 70.
I think it should be 50 months. Maybe even less, maybe 45 months, and a $5,000 or an $8,000 fine. Because again, they're going to get possessions and stuff. I think it should be right along the lines of after all charges are read, maybe they're getting hit with 10K in fines. I think it should be. I think it should be 5 and 45. I think it's a good, comfortable number.
You know what, Clive? It is possible.
10 to 15.
Because at that point, if we up it to that degree, it's going to take what is now leaving the car and running away to someone's down. We're gonna shoot the fucking cops and we're gonna get him out because we don't want him to get hit with that hefty of a time or fine.
Maybe somebody a little insider.
We want it to be on that border of fuck it.
Meeting happening or something whatnot.
Unfortunately, your officers' lives have a price tag on the streets.
Exactly.
Involved in this meeting?
Okay, so here's the
not that I
penal codes that I'm probably going to ask to have added. Attempted capital murder, because there isn't one. Torture is not on the books, and that should be a court charge. Vigilantism, just a felony. Items used in the commission of a crime, we talked about. The possession of explosives versus the criminal use have their time is way too 100 months for possessing it, but only 35 for using it. Reverse those numbers. That's
agreed.
ridiculous.
1,000% agreed.
Carjacking, I think, needs to be added.
Agreed.
Assault with a deadly on a government actor or employee. That includes your LEOs, your EMS, your us. So
like any government entity.
Yeah, I don't know why we give them for kidnapping more time and fine, but not for shooting. I think that needs to be added as well. I think we need to remove public intoxication personally. We're all adults. We can have a drink. If you do something stupid with that drink, you're liable for those actions, not for just drinking in public. I think that's silly. Unlawful imprisonment of a government employee needs to be added if it's not already there. Malfeasance, but and I personally think reckless driving and reckless endangerment. I don't think those should be felonies. I think they should be
unlawful imprisonment right now is 15 months and a $1,250 fine.
I think you should 50% up that for government employees, LEOs, and the like.
I think that should be doubled and then.
Double for a judge.
I think that should be doubled, period, and then double that for. So it should be 30. 2,500, and then for a government employee it should be 30. No, I think it should be like 50, 60 plus, because right now, I mean, if you steal a cop car, you get shot. So
that's also because of the shit that you guys keep in there.
Well, what I'm saying is that if people want to take cops hostages, that takes so much. Like if I'm part of a boost, or if I'm in a bank job or whatever, and a cop gets taken hostage, everyone responds because it's a targeted act on an officer, right? So if you're going to do that, you should have reflecting time and resources of the officers. So I think if you're taking an officer, it should be 50, 10,000. Again, hefty, big, don't fucking take a cop hostage. If you do, you're probably going to get shot anyways, because you will. And on top of that, you're going to get a charge that fucking reflects that stupidity of an act.
I don't know. Instead of just being a cop, I think it should be all government employees.
Agreed.
Protect your fucking EMS with your lives.
Damn straight.
There are goddamn angels.
Damn straight.
Please come save me. I'm a coward. I don't want to die.
Don't worry. You know how I am. I'll have y'all's backs always.
Thank you. So I think at least a 50% increase on time and fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then double for judges, because I'm used to that with judges. I don't know if that's clearly necessary. Do a lot of people fuck with judges?
No, not right now. I don't. Go ahead.
There's only one person that did, and we slammed him so hard that
froze it even 5 months.
He went to Guantanamo Bay.
Okay, so maybe just the government. Maybe since we'll try for double
Okay.
and see how they feel.
Awesome. Yeah, I think as long as prosecution and as law enforcement officers, our main concern, in my opinion, should be we want to hurt them, not in them wasting their time sitting in a corner, because all they do, and it shows in facts and evidence, and even the justice system in America, is if you sit someone in a fucking corner, the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to lose their sanity and they're going to fester. It doesn't have any beneficial value. Now, if we had DOC up there, we had activities up there that had any type of benefit, it would be different, but we don't have the manpower for that. So, in my opinion, fuck the time. If they're getting hit with 50, 60 months, 75 months at the top, I get that, unless they fucking murder someone. But we hit them in their fucking pockets, man, because ain't nothing worse than losing 6, 7, 8 a day of work and grinding for money to, a charge.
Those fuckers that took out Taffy, I did not give them a reduction on their fine. I gave them the absolute most that I was legally allowed to do.
Yeah, which was
and that's why, Trigger, that's why we don't want to hit people. I'll explain OOC in a second after this is over. Fuck him.
You just did the most heinous thing possible. I don't think records matter as much as the actual deed that I'm going to say willfully did, because the reckless and careless actions, you knew that was a risk. You shoot somebody and you don't know it's a risk that they're going to die.
Damn straight.
I'm sorry. It's called willful ignorance, and that's not acceptable in the law.
Yeah, just like if you're ignorant of the law, it doesn't excuse you from it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think if you think of any other I don't want to make it so that we have 1,000 laws. I just want to cover the big ones.
Agreed.
And then we can leave some wiggle room for the new stuff that pops.
Can you both share me your number again?
Yeah. I had somebody do organ harvesting. And I called it torturing at the end of the day because we didn't have that on the books.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Everyone's time here is valuable. That's why I'm completely against, obviously, like you said, you murder someone, you're going to do the time for it. But when you're doing crime and stuff, I don't want to sit you in a fucking corner and put you in timeout. I want to fucking hurt you on your money, and that's where I want.
You lost. Yeah, I don't get vicious about the everyday stuff. You know what? You slap them firmly on the wrist, because that they're just they're boys being boys.
Exactly.
But when you grossly go to torture, kidnap, and harm people maliciously, or fraud the general public, that's when I get nasty.
Agreed. All right. If you guys have anything else, let me know. I gotta get back on duty. There's not a lot of us, so if you need anything, you call me. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Sure.
Thank you guys so much. So, okay, I'll explain a couple things.
Let y'all know I love each and every one of you.
When it comes to crime right now on the server, there is a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways that you can get away with stuff. There's right now, if you do crime, if you do 10 different fucking A boosts, you're probably gonna get caught 2 of them if you have any idea what you're doing. There's so many different ways, even whenever you're doing these boosts and when you're doing these, different activities, that you can get away and leave the job and not get caught, right? So if you decide that all of that isn't worth it and you're going to go down for the crime that you're committing, I'm under the idea and the interpretation that if you're going to be willing to go to jail, you should at least get hit with a pretty fucking hefty consequence for that. Now, I'm completely against altering or changing someone's stream because of them getting caught doing a crime. It's a big thing that we had to deal with in the other server is when you would get caught creating roleplay and creating stuff as a criminal, your consequence would be no roleplay, sitting in a jail cell, fucked. What's going on, man?
Just keeping it up, you know how it is.
I feel you, baby. 95s? Nah, I just had a conversation about charges and stuff. I've been pretty locked up for the last 45 minutes. But don't worry, I'll be bringing them in, all right?
Hey, person, can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
What the hell is going on? Day from day, you look more like a Fortnite character. What is going on?
Man, they fucking me up, man. You know what I mean? They fucking me up, man.
Who is?
You sons of bitches, man. I got this thing where I have voices in my head, and I talk to myself sometimes, to be honest with you, man. And You know, my voice is in my head. They're winning lately. You know, but I'm gonna take them down. I promise, man. I'm gonna get on some medication, get my mind right, and I'm gonna be able to take them down one day. You watch.
I see you. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you SOP me real quick?
What's your highest
Oh, you want to get some tests?
Nipple surgery or getting your small
All
hands
right.
enlarged?
What's Terry VO high?
Much love, brother.
It basically covers the use of a tariff risk. So let's say if I pull you over and I ask you to get out of the vehicle, I can pat you down for any weapons.
I like that. I like that. What's the fleeing felon?
Fleeing felon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean on like a good faith belief system?
So with the fleeing felon, it means that if someone acts in a felonious crime, right, shooting somebody or whatever, even if their firearm is put away and they are in the act of running away from you, you can shoot them because they just left that crime of you know, firing at somebody. They could cause more.
100%.
They could put more people in danger. So if you ever get in trouble for shooting somebody in their back after they shot somebody, the fleeing felon is basically what protects you as a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, if I have a reasonable suspicion they're gonna bring danger to the public or other officers,
Yeah.
100%.
I'll give you an idea. We had a gang shootout up by the casino, and this guy put his gun away, put his hands up, and was running from me. I told him to stop. He did it, so I fucking shot him.
100%.
1 second. There's a gunshot right here.